Indigenous ecological knowledge has guided stewardship of native lands for thousands of years, including here in Hawaii. Reflecting deeply held values and a reciprocal relationship with the natural world, Hawaiians developed highly advanced stewardship systems and practices to maintain healthy and productive habitats from mauka to makai.
Indigenous people engage in the scientific process to build knowledge that's incorporated into the indigenous knowledge system. It's something that our ancestors have done for 6,000 years. It's how long our ancestors have been voyaging around the Pacific, discovering things, naming things, figuring out how systems work, engaging in that scientific process to build knowledge.
I think for Hawaii it's important to look to Native Hawaiian knowledge and indigenous practices because that was the practice that sustained life for thousands of years here. If you want to talk about sustainability in an island system surrounded by 2,500 miles of water, our people were amazing at it. We were able to sustain a population of 1 million. We were able to have long life, happiness, and that's something we got to work towards again.
Passed down through generations, this cultural legacy guides today's Native Hawaiians, Kanaka Maoli, who are leading efforts to Mālama ʻāina across the state. At Heʻeia on Oahu, they are leading an ambitious partnership to restore health and pilina, relationships across an ahupuaʻa.
It is important to acknowledge that agricultural system basically helped to rejuvenate or sustain a lot of life in the thriving ahupuaʻa with families living and eating and birds and fish thriving.
Our kuleana here in this space, many other Mālama ʻāina oris you can find all across Oahu, all across the islands and all across the world, teaching people why it's important to take care of the land because it takes care of us.
We're lucky in Heʻeia, we're all friends and we can hold each other accountable. I think that's the most important part of the equation, is that we can communicate, we can talk story, but we can also hold each other accountable and figure it out.
Like their ancestors, today's Kanaka Maoli are working on the land and in the water, applying indigenous wisdom and place-based practices, continuously learning from the ʻāina, and refining practices to navigate our rapidly changing world.
Indigenous-led is important because it's the indigenous people of any place who have deep knowledge, ancestral knowledge, lineal knowledge, and relationships to place. We talk a lot about biocultural restoration, which is restoring relationships between people and place, between people and biodiversity, and you can't do that without the people of place present. Humans are a part of nature.
Indigenous knowledge, foundational to our work here, but we have a lot to learn. And not all of the answers can be found in a book. Actually, most of them can't be found in a book. I think a lot of our success is attributed to listening to our na'au, listening to our surroundings, listening to the mea ola, whether it's the manu or the fish and how the fish respond to our work. A lot of our challenging questions, how to function in today's society and how to navigate climate change and how to be resilient and how to be kanaka comes from connecting with ʻāina and connecting with our kupuna, the education of our people, so that we can be the stewards that our ʻāina and Hawaii needs us to be.
As contemporary Hawaiians, there's a lot of other ethnicities in us and a lot of other systems, and so that's just an additional tool. But using our culture as that primary foundation, I think, is important. Makes sense.
I think there's something to be said about having to find your own way and figure it out. These are different times, right? So our kupuna don't tell us how to do it. They just give us the right tools to be able to figure out how to problem solve and how to come up with solutions on our own, right? It's part of our DNA.
The importance of indigenous knowledge in these kind of spaces is education, providing that space for the maka'ainana, and then also educating them and cultivating indigenous practices and providing a space for people to practice that kind of practice. Hula, lomi, ulana lauhala, working in the lo'i, or going up into the mountains to look at the different Native Hawaiian plants growing up there.
It's about indigenous-led and then positioning science in support of indigenous-led behaviors. We approach collaboration in more of a supporting role than a leading role.
Perpetuating indigenous culture and knowledge requires continual nurturing, with each generation practicing and building on it, and passing it along to the next generation of stewards.
Pua are juvenile fish that demand and require brackish water systems, estuaries, to be nurtured and grow. So do our keiki, the next gen. They need to have that same nurturing to kind of grow and instill that love of ʻāina and Hawaii in them so that we can be replaced by the next generation of stewards of ʻāina.
Making sure that these memories that exist in the minds and hearts of our elders will also one day, maybe 100 years from now, so our kids, are they going to have these same memories? These lineal relationships,
I am a ʻāina steward and educator. Connecting practices, pilina, trying to bring balance back to grow that responsibility to take care of it, and teaching people why taking care of the ʻāina is important, and it's because it takes care of us. We have the next generations, the hanauna hou, so trying to instill in them that indigenous knowledge as well as that indigenous feeling so that, well, they're part of that hali line through time, and they can be better and stronger than us.
With cultural foundations established thousands of years ago, today's indigenous stewards apply what their ancestors gave them in a changing world, building on that knowledge and passing the lessons on toward a goal relevant to the world, a future of co-prosperity of ʻāina and kānaka.